As Amazon sellers, we know the importance of reviews. It is there to increase our conversion rate and also give us a much needed social proof. In this video, we'll go through what is the current state of Amazon reviews, what is allowed, and what is my number one favorite review strategy in 2023. If getting reviews in Amazon is something that interests you, stay tuned. I'm Rick Wong, an Amazon seller and also the marketing manager here at LandingCube. And if you're interested in content such as this one, where we geek out on Amazon, I invite you to subscribe. Okay, so I believe now in 2023, back then, I think the core strategy with Amazon sellers is just to increase their reviews. This strategy is very popular specifically to Chinese sellers because plain and simple, very black and white, and it's very easy for them to growth hack. So a lot of Amazon sellers will get into like Facebook groups and ask for a review for exchange for money, right? So the idea is the more review a product gets, the higher it gets up the ranking. So within the last 2 years or so, starting from 2021, Amazon gotten really tough on these underhanded tactics. And you can see the strategy just doesn't work anymore, just growing your view count, because like number one, Amazon have really put the hammer on it, specifically the Chinese sellers that have been doing the strategy for the longest time have been banned permanently and hasn't gotten back on since. So message has been received in this regard. So if you actually do some blatant POS violation in terms of reviews, Amazon takes it very serious, so do not do that. Second point, why a core strategy for growth involving increase in review is dead is that shoppers are smarter. So shoppers is able to disseminate whether a product that has 1,000 reviews, whether the quality of review is good versus a product with only a handful of reviews, but the review quality is good. They could discern that and make their decision based on what is more authentic, right? As in the product with less review, but better review quality. So shoppers are getting smarter and they will not make a purchasing decision based on pure review count alone. Thirdly, and finally, the Amazon A9 algorithm has gotten smarter and does not look at things just on pure Amazon ranking alone in sales velocity. It looks at things much more holistically, such as off Amazon traffic. Another popular method of getting review that is now banned is actually by going through the feedback route. So as in an Amazon customer purchase your product, you can send a feedback message on the Amazon platform, right? Asking them to give you a review, right? Obviously, as time went on, the messaging around asking for a review changed, as in you cannot incentivize. Now, in 2023, this method is banned altogether. What is left is that for you to get a review by pressing the request to review button on the orders. And I'll show you how to do that later. Another way that you can review is through Vine, which would kind of costly. And I think the reviewers was also very stingent. So you got to make sure that if you go through the Amazon Vine review route, your product is of high quality. Okay, so how to get these reviews on the Amazon platform, as I described. The first way is through the review button. Quite simply, you're just going to go to orders, and then on these orders, just click on any orders and click reviews. And obviously I'm going through this manually, and you could tell that if I do this like manually, it's gonna be very time consuming. So there's software out there that can automate this review request. There's a lot of software out there that does this, so there's no one that I recommend over the other. They all serve the same function. The second way to get review on Seller Central is through Divine. So I talked about this, and you can only enroll products that doesn't really have any reviews, right? And it could also be pretty costly. So those are the two ways to get reviews using the Seller Central. The final way to gather reviews is using the product insert as a review generation tactic. It still works, but in terms of how you do it, you got to be a lot more careful. There has been instances recently that Amazon has requested sellers for them to pull their inventory out of FBA for a check, because maybe like some other sellers have reported them of like POS violation in terms of the product inserts. So my 2023 advice for product insert is to avoid the word review in any parts of the product insert, right? So you got to use your creative, like how you could replace the word review with something else. But in the funnel that I show you, we don't really need to ask the shopper for a review. We could ask for something that gives you much more value in the long term than just a review on Amazon. So here is the funnel that I propose. So what you will do is that with LandingCube, you are going to create a landing page, and the product insert, right, that you will put in your product, right, will tell them to go into this landing page, and this landing page will offer what we call a UGC campaign, user generated content campaign, right? So what is user generated content? So basically is a social picture, right? Or basically just any picture of the actual customer using the product. And it is not against TOS to offer a compensation, right, for a social media picture, right? It is against TOS to ask them for a review. But for a social media picture, it is not against TOS. So what you will do in this particular funnel, you will say, okay, if you enter into this contest, we'll give you a 25% off on your next purchase, or whatever the incentive is. All you have to do is provide a post of you using the product with a certain hashtag on Instagram. So a good example of this is TrueSkin, an Amazon native brand right here. So this they sell like vitamin C serum, and you can see like their social media account on Instagram. So they have like 45,000 posts with the hashtag TrueSkin, right? So what you will do is to get your customer on Amazon with product insert cart to an offer that tells them if they were to like post on Instagram with a hashtag your brand, right, you could give them 20% gift card or whatever the compensation is. And you see with LandingCube, sponsor of this channel, you could actually create a very simple landing page for this campaign. And what you can do, you could also capture the email of the actual customer, right? Capture the email of the customer, right, for this contest. And then when you capture the email, it'll send a follow-up email to say, these are the specific of the campaign. Number one, you have to take a picture of yourself with the product, post it on Instagram, right? And number three, hashtag your brand name, right? So this would give you additional social proof with a UGC that you could use over and over again, right? And what you could also do with this social user generated content or Instagram post is that you can also put it into your Amazon post as well. So I think for this brand, it doesn't have any Amazon post, but it gives you additional content for you to just like constantly post it, right? So you don't have to actually find more content. Basically, you could like follow up on their description and then just like post it on your Amazon. So it's like a asset that just keeps on giving for you. And in terms of reviews, right, since you have collected the customer email, you could be a little bit more aggressive in terms of asking for a review for your Amazon product because you have the direct email. So in this part of funnel, you can mention the word review, right? So at this point of the funnel, Amazon will not be involved. You could ask for a review. Again, how aggressive you want to be is up to your risk tolerance, but obviously I always suggest that the sellers to be as TOS compliant as possible. For this, you can ask for a review, so make sure to be TOS compliant. You don't give a particular compensation for a 5-star review. So here you could go for the ask. You could also go for the ask again, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month later, right? And the email that you collect is that you also grow your audience, and you could also use it for future launch as well. So basically, if the customer can use your product insert to go through all this funnel, right? Number one, you could get the UGC, you could get the email, and then you could ask for the review. So by doing this new strategy, number one, you're TOS compliant, and number two, right, you keep getting the assets for you to, number one, remarket, right? And also getting the asset to constantly use for your ongoing campaigns. So I hope that you enjoy, what I proposed for this particular funnel. So what I'm saying is that, asking for reviews in 2022 should not be your core strategy, because at the end of the day, why are we getting reviews? Social proof, right? Nowadays, the great way to get social proof is through user-generated content, right? So copy what a lot of the D2C sellers are doing. A lot of them are using this method as their primary strategy to grow their brand. So Amazon sellers can actually do this as well, and do it in a very scalable way using their product insert, right? And if they actually go through the funnel, you could acquire the customer email like we have set up with LandingCube, and then you could ask for the review later, which eliminates a lot of the risk of asking for a review on the Amazon platform. Lastly, if you are looking to collect emails to build your audience off of Amazon, check out LandingCube. You can see like how I implement LandingCube in this like funnel right here. We are an Amazon selling specific landing page builder for your off Amazon marketing, such as Google, Facebook, TikTok ads, and also asset funnel for your product inserts. Sign up now for a 21-day free trial in the link below. So until the next video drop, happy selling.